My name is Video Games and welcome back to me. Let's go for that elim round on the Robert. Welcome back to Dicey Dungeons. Remember, if you'd like to be on the show, just write to us here at the Dungeons. Don't forget to whisper your most secret hope into the envelope. To win this episode. Alright, Frog. Let's give it a go. So basically, any time that I can possibly overload, I'm just gonna spend all of my die. Yeah. Oh, hell yes that they couldn't small shield that turn. That would have been real annoying. When I have a big sword like this, then this won't happen again. You just wait and see. Look, I went frog, croak, croaky voice. That was the path I took. Clearly, not a good voice for the character. Cheat code! Increase your jackpot range this turn. I don't really like doing the whole jackpot build, but if that's what's offered, that's what's offered, right? Yeah, the enemy's not gonna hit me, like, over the course of this. Oh, especially with a garbage roll like that. Alright, fair enough. We probably will get hit now, but only for 10 damage. So we full heal after the fight anyway. I can hold on to my auto roll. Really? Oh, never mind. Ray gun's fine. Sweet. 2 extra CPUs so I can be a little more aggressive more rolling. Sticky hands. We've encountered a sticky hands earlier before. At least we do have damage in the base robot, but we're definitely going for the baby squid first. Just see if we can pick up some extra damage. Yeah, the enemy is pretty likely to give me a fair wallop in here. Blind as well. Alright. But it's annoying that blinding the robot blinds all of your die. That's a... Doesn't it blind all of your die? Well, it does blind all of this, at least. That sounds like it was probably a 5. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, 5 and a 3, we're up to 8. Yeah, fair enough. You can tell while the robot is blinded what is rolled based on the sound of the die rolling. So I'm going to be trying to be very, very, very careful about that. That's probably like a 2 or a 3, maybe a 3. It's a 3. Obviously. Oh, really? So 3-1-1, we're on 5, so I can freely roll. I'm not on 5. Okay, so that means the first die was what? A 6. It didn't sound like a 6 to me. Did not sound like a 6 to me. At least we have maintained the auto roll for the next combat, as well as healed at the end there. Mechanical arm, yes. Okay, so I will tell you what my build was when I won. That is to say, in the episode that I'm dumb and deleted for no reason whatsoever. My brain just stopped working. It was mechanical arm and force field. Force field is gain 1 shield, add +1 each roll. Mechanical arm is obviously on the screen at the moment. And the entire thing was about manipulating how many rolls I could make in a turn. And it worked out really, really well. But we still only won with 1 HP remaining, which makes me feel terrified to go into that build, knowing how difficult it was to win with it last time and how luck-based it was in the very end. Still gonna do it though. Alright, Stucky Hands. garbage auto roll. At least it still takes you 2 more turns to run away, at the absolute least. Sweet, that'll do. Alright. At least the sticky hands doesn't get our money this time. Beat you later, gladiator. Again, not a great voice for that character. Buster Sword is the only one that I can realistically justify here. You need something you can dedicate errors into, because that's just a bunch of extra damage every single turn. Alright. Midnight Charm, roll 2 6s. So, I also had something going on in this build that was probably reliant on random elements rather than things that appear every single run. I had a spatula. So spatula is flip the die, so 1 becomes a 6, 4 becomes a 3, 5 becomes a 2, etc. And vice versa, rather. But not only did I have that, but I also had something. It wasn't called cheat code. It was about lowering the counter based on what you put into it. So I would have a 1, I would flip that into a 6, and then I would lower 6 away from my counter. So I rolled a 1, but I removed 6 from the counter. It allowed me to roll so many times and get the mechanical arm effects, but I'm going to have to rely on that showing up in a shop, right? Because it was a randomized piece of equipment that I ended up with a spatula. And the spatula was integral to the entire build. So I'm a little disheartened by that. And I'm going to try and not focus on the episodes that were lost because it is... You know when you work, like, and you're really proud of something, and then it gets destroyed? Even if it's your own fault, still don't feel great. Three for that. Yeah, not that bad. Especially because we've got all of the healing outside of here anyway. I knew that if I busted on that roll, I was actually going to be able to kill, so it was no risk to do that. At least we level up after the vacuum. Which is probably the level up that awards us the cost reduction stuff. I don't have an odd to throw into the cheat code right now, unfortunately. Maybe I should have thrown the 6 in the mechanical arm. Okay, so we roll a 1 naturally on the first one. The enemies freezing us is actually really, really good for us. So I can only hope they continue. Finish out that auto roll so that I can start to gain the next one again. At least you didn't get a split on that turn. I should probably heal up at least once before the vacuum fight, but I'm actually terrified enough to do it twice. Oh, sweet. We actually got straight to the end. Nothing to do with the two. The enemy having a drain HP makes it really important I kill them as quickly as possible. Alright. This is going to be hard to listen to. That sounds like probably a 4. Sounds like probably a 3. I'm going to auto roll for the rest. Oh, it's a 1. Okay, so these two total to 10. So that's a 6, which means this is a 4. So I was right about the second one. I did think that was a 4. I just thought this was a little lighter than it was. I'm just gonna straight auto roll. I know I full heal after that fight, so there's no point in regenning. So that didn't level us up. Nudge. Garbage. Doppel dice, small shield, ray gun. Doppel dice is probably the most valuable here for us, but it completely invalidates the idea of the build. I can't attach myself to the idea of a build if I'm not actually able to use that build. Doppel dice goes in so I can get extra value. The handyman fight. Sweet. Double that so that we can get 2 reasonable effects for... Honestly, not bad of a turn. For the enemy, though. He is... Sweet. Still ended up with probably more damage by leaving the Buster Sword to the absolute end, so I'm going to try and do that a little bit more commonly. Oh, never mind. Straight for the kill. And back to the shop to... I can't take small shield, can I? I was really hoping for a store here. Alright. Let's hope the swap is really good. If it swaps Nudge for the spatula, we're back in this. Ah! I was really relying on that, on mechanical arm. I know that I've been breaking my own rule about, you know, allotting the right things in the right time, but it feels like I have to do that to try and stay ahead of some of these enemies. That could have been significantly worse. As could this have been. We have a lot of HP that we can collect after this, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. Oh, wait, no, one of them's a rotten apple, isn't it? It is, yeah. Buster Sword for Spatula. Oh. It's what I asked for. But I need the damage from the Buster. I don't have Force Field yet. I'm doing it. I'd been asking for it constantly. I can hardly turn it down at this point. Go for the rotten apple because we get equipment after it. I should have done that, yes, but I should have done it at the end of the floor. That's going to contribute very heavily to what I feel like is almost inevitably my loss at this point. In these elimination rounds, it's going to happen. It will. Life is hard in them. And yes, obviously, I'll do better as I make fewer and fewer mistakes. But on top of that, the elimination rounds are real hard. If you beat the elimination rounds, then feel free to call me bad. Otherwise, maybe don't. Seen a lot of comment sections get very up in arms about games and then get pushed on them and respond, I don't actually own that game. It's happened a lot in Comic Crops recently for some reason. Alright. That was wrong. Literally what happened there is I was like, oh yeah, Buster Sword. I'm gonna put it in the Buster Sword. Thankfully, it ultimately won't change the amount of damage we take over the course of this fight, because I wasn't going to kill the enemy that turn anyway, and I'm definitely going to kill them this turn anyway. Or at least I thought I would. Yeah. Yeah, we will. Chocolate cookie, not what I was looking for. Let's throw that in instead of the cheat code. Go back for Aurora, because I do want to level up before I go to the next floor. It's very important as the robot that you level up as many times as possible because of the CPU limit. Obviously not a particularly huge fan of what's going on right now. Okay, if the enemy rolls poorly constantly, maybe we're in him for it. If the enemy keeps locking sixes, though, that's gonna be bad time. Locked to 1? Excellent. Take that one every time. Just getting that set up for the next turn. Never mind, we're dead, right? Yeah, we definitely die next turn, so 21 needs to be dealt this turn. Locked to 6. Oh! Okay. That should have locked 2 6s, because locked, cannot use dice. But... So if I'm duplicating my next attack, what do I do? If I flip this upside down twice, I'll get 2 6s. If I double this value twice, I'll get 3. So currently, I have the ability to not deal that much damage. It would take 3 die in order to double trigger the mechanical arm at this point. I want to roll this and get a 5 or a 2, I think. But the 5 or a 2 is literally just for the plasma blaster. So why not just cut out the middleman and lucky shot? Yeah. It's just 1, 2, 3 to 9, and then, yeah, we're dead. Or not. Of course, usable 3 times this turn. That was so close in so many ways. Well done, Aurora. Well done. The spatula there at the end did prove quite useful. So I don't necessarily know if the trade of the Buster is actually what ended up killing us in that fight. Actually, you know what? It did, but not because of the Aurora fight. It did it because I took an extra turn's worth of damage, which was just probably 3 damage from the bite. It's because I took the extra turn's worth of damage in the Rotten Apple fight, which I wouldn't have done if I did have the Buster Sword. So that trade still did screw me over. Dang. That said, that build was still going to be entirely reliant on finding force fields on the next floor, as well as an upgrade. I'm not entirely certain I would have found those. For the moment, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Dicey Dungeons. I have won it before, believe it or not. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.